Did you know that some seemingly harmless everyday habits could actually be accelerating the aging process? The truth is, many habits that once helped us stay productive or feel secure can silently impact our health, mental clarity, and independence as we grow older. However, these issues are rarely discussed. By the time we become aware of them, the damage has already been done, manifesting in stiffness, fatigue, and missed appointments that leave us feeling frustrated or even embarrassed. In this video, we're going to talk about 6 surprising things you should stop doing after 70. Not because it's a rule, but because letting go of these habits can lead to a more energetic, capable, and enjoyable life. These aren't vague recommendations or unrealistic goals. They are habits many older individuals fall into unknowingly, and changing them now could help you feel more like your true self. Stay tuned until the end, as you'll not only recognize a few of these habits in your own life but also learn simple strategies to turn things around starting today. Before we start, we ask you to like the video and leave a comment to help the channel grow. Subscribe and activate the notification bell to stay updated on our content. Now let's begin. Number 1. Avoiding strength-based movements. A major mistake many people make after 70 is thinking it's safer to slow down and do less. It may seem logical. Your joints might be more achy than before, your balance might feel different, and even lifting something heavier than a grocery bag might seem intimidating. Many older adults stop using their muscles altogether, assuming that resting will protect them. But in truth, avoiding strength-based exercises is one of the quickest ways to lose independence, mobility, and the ability to live life on your own terms. Muscles don't just keep you strong, they help you stay alive. After 70, muscle loss, or sarcopenia, starts to speed up unless we take action to preserve it. This isn't about lifting heavy weights or training like a bodybuilder. It's about keeping the muscles you already have engaged. Even small amounts of resistance, such as bodyweight exercises, like dumbbells, or resistance bands, can make a significant difference. The key is consistency and purpose. Every time you take a step, stand up without assistance, carry a bag, or reach for something on a shelf, your muscles are working to make it possible. Let me tell you about George. He's 82 and used to avoid most physical activity after a minor fall. A few years ago, he was afraid to push himself, fearing another injury. So, he stuck to the recliner, short walks, and his usual routines. However, after visiting a physical therapist, he realized that inactivity was causing more harm than movement ever could. He started with 5-minute strength routines. Nothing complicated, just standing from a chair without using his hands, lifting soup cans, and practicing balance by standing on one leg near the kitchen counter. Within 2 months, his legs felt steadier, and his confidence grew. There's something powerful about using your body with intention. It's not only about mobility, it's about dignity. It's about knowing you can get out of bed without fear, walk through a store without needing a cart for support, or play with your grandchild on the floor and know you can get back up. Strength gives you that. And it doesn't require hours a day. Just a few simple, repeated movements can help rebuild what time has worn down. The reason many people don't talk about this is that strength loss happens quietly. It doesn't hurt, at least not immediately. But you'll notice it in the small things: getting winded faster, struggling with stairs, or needing to use your arms to help you stand. The sooner you notice it, the sooner you can reverse it. It's never too late, and you don't need fancy equipment. You just need to decide that staying strong matters more than staying still. Number 2. Eating the same way you did in your 40s. One of the biggest challenges many people face after 70 is the belief that they can keep eating the same way they always have. Same portion sizes, same times, same comfort foods. It feels familiar and easy. For a long time, it may have worked well, but your body isn't operating like it did 30 years ago. Your metabolism has slowed, your digestion might not be as efficient, and your nutritional needs have shifted. However, many people continue eating out of habit rather than actual hunger. This quiet mistake can lead to weight gain, sluggishness, and even blood sugar issues that develop unnoticed. The reality is, after 70, every meal counts more than ever. Your body no longer requires as much food, but it does need more of the right kinds of food, nutrient-dense, easy-to-digest options that support your bones, brain, and energy levels. This means fewer large portions of fatty meats, starchy carbs, and processed snacks, and more smaller, balanced meals filled with fiber-rich vegetables, lean proteins, healthy fats, and water-filled fruits. It's not about restricting yourself. It's about eating in a way that supports your body today, not how it worked 30 years ago. Let me share a story about Helen. She's 75 and never really thought much about what she ate, 3 large meals a day, just as she always had. But she started noticing some changes. After dinner, she felt bloated, her energy dropped in the afternoons, and her pants no longer fit like they used to. Her doctor didn't criticize her. He just suggested she try something different, slightly smaller portions, more vegetables, and paying attention to when she actually felt full. Within a month, she not only felt lighter but also clearer, her sleep improved, and her mood lifted in ways she hadn't expected. This isn't about dieting, it's about making adjustments. Just like you wouldn't wear the same shoes you wore in your 30s, your body doesn't benefit from the same eating habits either. With age comes wisdom, and that includes wisdom about food. Eating less isn't about deprivation, it's about efficiency. It's about giving your body what it needs and letting go of what only weighs it down. When your meals are balanced and intentional, your body responds with more energy, sharper thinking, and better moods. And here's something that often goes unsaid: it's perfectly fine to create new eating habits at this stage of life. In fact, it shows self-respect. You're not giving up the pleasures of food, you're simply developing a healthier relationship with it. You're learning to recognize what truly satisfies you, what supports your day, and what helps you feel your best. That kind of awareness isn't just healthy, it's liberating. If you're still watching and finding these insights useful, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're following along. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I suggest you do and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any new videos. Your support enables us to keep creating content that informs and inspires. Now let's continue. Number 3. Distancing yourself from social connections. After 70, it can be surprisingly easy to slip into isolation without even realizing it. You may stop going out as much, cancel plans more often, or convince yourself that staying home is simply more comfortable. Sometimes, this is due to physical limitations. Other times, it's emotional. You might feel like you have less to offer, or maybe people just don't reach out as much as they once did. So you withdraw, convincing yourself that it's fine and that you enjoy the peace and quiet. However, the truth is, social isolation can be more damaging to your health than you might think. Loneliness isn't just an emotion, it's a health risk. Studies have shown that isolation in older adults can lead to depression, memory loss, and even an increased risk of heart disease. The brain thrives on connection. When you cut off regular interaction with others, your mind starts to turn inward in ways that aren't always helpful. Conversations, shared laughter, and even simple phone calls serve as mental exercise. They help keep you sharp, grounded, and emotionally stable. Perhaps most importantly, they remind you that you still matter. Let me share a story about Sylvia. She's 80 and had gradually stopped seeing her friends. After her husband passed away, she told herself she needed time to grieve, but months turned into years. Her memory became foggy, her days started blending together, and her motivation dwindled. Her daughter suggested she try attending a weekly senior yoga class just to get out of the house. Sylvia was hesitant at first, but she went. What surprised her wasn't the exercise itself, but the people, laughing together before class and chatting about their week afterward. It brought color back into her life. She hadn't realized how much she missed it. This doesn't mean you have to join numerous clubs or push yourself into busy events. It's about finding small ways to stay connected. A regular phone call, a walk with a neighbor, a church group, or even an online hobby community. These small interactions are like emotional vitamins. They nourish your spirit and remind you that you're not facing this stage of life alone. The more connected you feel, the stronger your body and mind become. The tricky part is that withdrawing from others can feel safe. It's quiet and predictable, but there's a difference between enjoying solitude and isolating yourself. One refreshes you, while the other gradually drains your energy. You have so much wisdom, warmth, and humor to offer, and people benefit from having you around, even if you don't realize it. When you reach out to others, you're not just helping yourself, you're also reminding someone else that they're not alone. Number 4. Ignoring small health symptoms. One of the most dangerous habits that can sneak up after 70 is dismissing minor health symptoms because they seem insignificant or familiar. A little dizziness here, a touch of chest discomfort there, or some extra tiredness in the afternoon, you tell yourself it's just part of aging. You don't want to make a big deal out of it, and you don't want to be a burden. Plus, you're tired of sitting in doctors' offices, so you ignore the issue. But overlooking small symptoms can be a serious mistake, especially later in life, when early detection can mean the difference between a quick fix and a more severe problem. The body becomes more vulnerable with age, but it also becomes more communicative if you're willing to listen. Symptoms that you might have dismissed before now deserve more attention. That slight swelling in your ankles could be your heart signaling for help. That occasional confusion might not just be a senior moment, it could be a warning sign. And the longer you wait, the harder it becomes to treat, reverse, or manage. Catching things early doesn't make you a worrywart, it makes you wise. It gives you options and control, both of which are worth preserving. Let me share the story of Walter. He's 78, and has always considered himself tough. He wasn't keen on seeing a doctor, and rarely took anything seriously unless he was in significant pain. But he began to notice his vision was blurrier than usual, and his feet had an unusual tingling sensation. He brushed it off as just a part of aging. It wasn't until his daughter urged him to get checked out that he learned he had early-stage diabetes. Because he caught it early, he was able to manage it with diet and exercise. His doctor was clear: if he'd waited any longer, it might have become irreversible. You are the expert when it comes to your own body. When something feels off, unusual, or just not quite right, you have every reason to get it checked. Not because you're weak, but because you're responsible. Health problems don't always make a grand entrance with alarms and flashing lights, they often whisper. And as we age, paying attention to those whispers becomes even more critical. Responding quickly can lead to quicker recovery, fewer medications, and better overall outcomes. It also means trusting your intuition. If you feel dismissed or unheard by a healthcare provider, you have the right to ask questions, get second opinions, and advocate for yourself. You've spent your life looking out for others, so now it's time to care for yourself with that same level of attention. No one else lives in your body. No one else knows how it truly feels. If something doesn't feel right, don't hesitate to speak up. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're following along. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to do so and turn on the bell to stay updated with our latest videos. Your support helps us keep creating valuable content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move on. Number 5. Relying on memory instead of writing things down. After 70, one of the most common yet often overlooked habits is relying too much on memory. You've always been able to remember birthdays, appointments, medications, and when to take them. For most of your life, this worked just fine. So you continue doing it, reciting your daily plans in your head, reminding yourself to call someone later, or trying to track your medications without writing anything down. But here's the subtle danger: memory isn't as reliable as it once was. Depending solely on it can lead to small mistakes that end up having serious consequences. Forgetting an appointment is one thing, but forgetting whether you already took your medication is another. It happens more often than people admit. You might accidentally double a dose or skip one entirely, thinking you already took it. That moment of uncertainty can snowball into significant health issues, especially with medications like those for blood pressure, diabetes, or pain management. But here's the truth: writing things down isn't a sign of decline. It's a sign of responsibility. It's how you protect your future and reduce stress in the present. Let me introduce you to Bill. He's 73 and has always taken pride in his sharp mind. He kept track of all the bills, remembered every birthday, and never needed a calendar. But after missing a specialist appointment and accidentally skipping his morning dose twice in 1 week, he realized something had shifted. At first, he felt embarrassed, as though he were admitting weakness. However, after adopting a simple notebook system and setting phone reminders, he found that not only was he remembering more, but he was also worrying less. He said it felt like he had relieved himself of a burden he'd been quietly carrying for years. Our brains do far more than we often give them credit for. And after decades of life experience, it's natural for short-term memory to slow down. That doesn't mean you're failing. It simply means your system needs some support. Writing things down, keeping a calendar on the fridge, using a pill organizer, or setting up a few phone reminders isn't about being forgetful. It's about setting yourself up for success and eliminating the need to leave anything to chance. What often surprises people is how freeing it feels to take thoughts out of your head and place them somewhere visible. It clears up mental space, lowers anxiety, and boosts confidence. You stop second-guessing yourself and repeating the same mental lists over and over. Instead, you trust the systems you've created, and your mind can finally find some rest. Number 6. Resisting technology altogether. One of the most limiting habits people over 70 often adopt, sometimes without realizing it, is completely shutting themselves off from technology. Maybe it feels overwhelming, maybe you've tried it before and got frustrated, or maybe you've convinced yourself that it's just not for you. You might say things like, "I don't need all that stuff," or "I'm too old to learn," or "I've been fine without it." While these statements might seem true in the moment, they subtly create a barrier between you and tools that could actually make your life easier, safer, and more connected. Technology doesn't have to mean diving into social media or buying the latest gadgets. It can be as simple as learning how to send a text, using a voice assistant to set reminders, or checking your health records online. These tools aren't just fads, they're lifelines. They help you manage your medications, stay in touch with family, get assistance in emergencies, and access information within seconds. By avoiding technology altogether, you're not avoiding stress, you're only increasing your reliance on others. Let me tell you about Liz. She's 79 and used to call her daughter every time she needed to confirm her appointment times or check her prescription refills. Her daughter always helped with love, but Liz began to feel more and more dependent. One day, her grandson showed her how to use the calendar and reminders app on her phone and how to check her pharmacy's website for refills. It wasn't easy at first. There were some hiccups, questions, and moments of doubt. But after a few weeks, she found herself doing things independently that used to require multiple phone calls. And for the first time in a long while, she felt something she hadn't felt before: capable. That's what this is truly about, not mastering every new device but regaining your independence. Small victories with technology add up quickly: checking the weather, reading messages, receiving health alerts, or even attending a virtual class. These simple actions show you that you can adapt, grow, and stay connected to the world. You don't need to be a tech expert. You just need curiosity and a patient guide to show you the ropes. And if you've ever felt embarrassed about not knowing how to use something, let that go. Everyone starts somewhere. No one expects you to know everything instantly, but giving yourself a chance to try is what counts the most. Technology is not the enemy of aging, it's a powerful ally. And the more open you are to it, the more opportunities you open for yourself. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 6 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to do so and turn on the bell so you don't miss any future videos. Your support helps us continue creating valuable content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Final thoughts as we wrap up this video. Take a moment to reflect on what we've discussed. Which of these habits resonate with you? Which ones surprised you? After 70, the rules change, but no one hands you a new playbook. That's why it's so easy to fall into routines that feel comfortable but gradually undermine your health, independence, and peace of mind. However, here's the truth: it's never too late to change course. You don't need to completely transform your life overnight. Simply recognizing these 6 pitfalls and being open to taking one small step away from them can bring you greater clarity, more energy, and increased confidence. Whether it's moving your body a little more each day, adjusting your meals to meet your current needs, or asking someone to guide you through a new phone, you're not falling behind, you're learning to move forward with purpose. Aging doesn't mean stepping back. It means rising with the wisdom you've gained and using it to make the rest of your life lighter, stronger, and more joyful. These habits may seem small, but every decision you make in favor of your health is a statement that you still matter, that your time still matters, and that the best parts of your life are still unfolding. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to apply it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us keep creating valuable content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.